Isang magandang Huwebes sa ating lahat. Hello po. Ngayon po ay August 12, 2021 o ika-12 ng Agosto, 2021. Wikang pambasa nga pala gagamitin natin. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, Benji Chodoro. Ako po ay isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007. At ginagawa ko po itong report araw-araw na sinimulan ko po ng Agosto rin ng nakaraang taon. At nire-report ko rin yung pinaka-latest na balita tungkol sa inyong paborito at most active stocks. Kung gusto niyo po ang content, iniimbitahan ko po kayo mag-subscribe sa aking channel. At kung meron kayong stocks na gustong ipa-review, paki-comment lang po sa comment box at ipa-prioritize ko po. Ang balita po natin na pinansyal ay mula po sa Lushitan Group. Ngunit ibibigay ko rin po ang mga financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa ating Philippine Stock Exchange ngayong araw, ika-12 ng Agosto 2021. Dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Mag-start na po tayo. Okay po, ito po ang ating financial headlines. Sa economic news po natin, COVID variants likely to dent PH recovery. At yung sectoral news, ito po yung ating news ngayon. LTG reported first half net income. Yung ibang corporate news is that DNL net income up 74% year-on-year to 1.4 billion pesos. Gayun din naman, ang JFC reports a second quarter headline net income of 976 million. Pizza posts first half net income of 14 million pesos, while Cebu Pacific first half 21 net loss of 13.8 billion. Okay, so let's go to our news on LTG. First half attributable net income. So let's go to that news item from the business world. LT Group profit declines by 63% to 4 billion. Lushitan's LT Group Inc. or LTG net income attributable to the first 6 months went down by 63% to 3.73 billion from last year's 10.3 billion. This is mainly due to higher provisioning for credit losses booked by its banking subsidiary and the elimination of the gain from the transfer of real estate assets at the consolidated level, the company said in a statement Wednesday. Ang presidente po ng PNB is si Vic Veloso, one of my colleagues when I was still working with Foreign Bank. The company said its net expenses and other income at parent level stood at 185 million. During the period, it said Philippine National Bank had a negative net contribution of 6.46 billion after eliminating the gain of 33.6 billion at the consolidated LTG level. Listed PNB's net income for the period amounted to 22.2 billion under the pooling method, which already includes 33.6 billion gain from the transfer of properties into PNB Holdings Corp. The bank's net interest income declined by 3% to 16.85 billion. Siguro ang gagawin dito ni BDO Nomura is to reduce the target price, I think. Kasi fundamentally, nalugi siya. So, it will eat into the fundamentals. The company's tobacco business is said to have contributed 8.97 billion of total attributable income. It generated a 9.01 billion net income in the first semester, a 10% increase from 8.21 billion in the same period last year. The tobacco industry's volume estimate for the period stood at 26.8 billion, 9% less than last year's 29.5 billion sticks. This is due to the October to November 2020 price increases to pass on the additional excise taxes, LTG explained. The company said it is not against tax increases, however, it maintains that these increases should be moderate as it might lead to further volume declines. Okay, so nag-i-increase ng excise taxes sa tobacco dahil nga this is one of the sin taxes Dahil nga yung pag-yoyosi, kung nagyoyosi po kayo ay hindi po maganda. Ako po ay dating nagyoyosi at hindi po maganda sa health. So that's why I took up running dahil I resolved to stop smoking and have an exercise to maintain my health. And that is why naikwento ko po sa inyo kahapon na nakatatlong 42 na po ako. And I used to run competitively, and it all started with stopping the habit of smoking. Anyway, meanwhile, the Tanduay Distillers Inc. added 60.2 million to LTG's total attributable income. The unit saw an 11% growth in net income for the 6 months period of 605 million from last year's 543 million due to a 13% increase in liquor sales volume and 55% growth in bioethanol sales. TDI's nationwide market share inched up to 26.9 as end June this year from 24.1 year-on-year. Its market shares in the Visayas and Mindanao region also grew, with its market share in the Visayas rising to 68.2 from 62.4, from the Mindanao growing to 79.5% from 72%. Asia Brewery, some of the 343 million were contributed by Asia Brewery Inc. to LTG's total attributable income. Its net income for the first half amounted to 343 million, surging by nearly 8 times from 40 million. ABI's revenues for the period were relatively flat as the higher volume from Cobra Energy Drink, which now has 65% market share, offset the lower volume of bottled water and soy milk. Property arm Eaton Properties Inc. made up for the 287 million of LTG's total attributable income. The unit's income for the 6-month period amounted to 288 million, declining by 29% from last year's 404 million, as both residential unit sales and leasing income went down. So in other words, bumaba po yung income ng LTG Group, and it lost 63% to 4 billion. Now let's take a look at the commentary of BDO Nomura. Ang sabi niya dito, LTG's first half 21 net income trails our full year estimates. We cut our full year 21 forecast earnings estimate for LTG by 39% as we factored in higher provisions, 3 times higher as previous estimates, for PNB without the potential windfall from the sale of PHC shares pending its listing. We also impute a wider conglomerate discount of 40% to account for increased asset quality risk for PNB, ESG-related concerns for PMFTC, and perceived group risk with sister company PAL. As a result, we trim our SOTP-based TP. SOTP means sum of the parts based target price to 13.10 from 16 pesos, I think, but maintain our buy rating as LTG still trades at attractive valuations with dividend yield of 8.3%, among the highest within our coverage. So that's well, not so good news for LTG, pero buy pa rin po tayo. ang recommendation ni BDO Nomura. So before we go to the PSEI, let me read some of the comments that I got yesterday. At merong pinapa-review po dito. Ang sabi niya dito, Nith Mill commented, "Good day sir, LTG po I bought at 980. So re-review po natin ang LTG. Clemente commented, "Wow, galing sir, 342k run, stays safe." Thank you. Actually, totoo po yun, nag-42k na po ako. And you are not a runner if you haven't done the 42k. Kasi yan yung ultimate test of your running ability. Matapos mo yung 42k. But that was years ago, actually. So I just run to maintain my fitness, actually. Salamat po, Clemente. And then, meron ding comment dito si Flor Mira. "Sir, salamat po sa review ng Land, Sun, and LC. Please po, pa-review po ng MWIDE and LTG and MPI, ano po ang TP nila. Hindi ko po kasi nabantayan, naiwanan po sa itaas." Okay, so we'll include those, Flor. And also welcome to our new subscriber, Mike Sandico. Okay po, so let's now go to the happenings in the PSE. Okay, let's now go to the happenings on the PSE index. Okay, so we will be reviewing your requested stocks. We will be reviewing LTG, MWIDE, Metro Pacific, DNL, JFC, Pizza, Cebu Pacific, PureGold, and SM. So let's now go to, tingnan po muna natin yung nangyari sa PSE index today. Antayin lang po natin. Medyo mabagal lang po yung ating internet. Pero dapat mabilis to dahil home fiber to ng PLDT. Dapat matulin siya, no? And PLDT is a leader in the telecommunication business. So dapat matulin to. Okay. Siya nga pala, we'll also be reviewing FILRT, no? Yan yung 10th stock natin. Okay, so let's counter check lang ha. 6657.57. Okay, the PSEI index lost 110.29 points or 1.65%, so nag-profit taking siya today. Per our candlesticks, it appears to be moving sideways with RSI a bit bearish at 46, 47, ano? Piercing through the candlesticks po ang ating PSE. Ngayon, yung ating market summary, 133 companies declined, 66 advanced, while 61 or 51 remained unchanged. The all-share index also lost 1.26%, while the sectoral indices are all down, except for mining, which gained 1.47%. The losers was led by properties at 3.14%. Now, sinabi ko na po kanina yung ating i-review and i-add po natin si FILRT, which had its maiden listing today at 7:02 siya natapos. Okay po. So, we'll be reviewing LTG, MWIDE, MPI, DNL, JFC, Pizza, SEB, PureGold, SM, and FILRT. So, let's start with LTG. Okay, LTG, bumaba pa siya, no? 9.52, losing 28 centavos, probably because of that news, ano? The earnings report. Pero, ano pa rin po ito, no? Support level pa rin po ito. Kasi po, yung support level niya sa ngayon ay nandito po. Ito po yung level of support niya. Nasa 950, 940 to 960 po ang support level ni LTG. Yan. So, nasa 950, 940 to 960 po ang support level niya. And it is holding support, actually. So, it ended 28 centavos down. Pero maganda naman po ang LTG eh. So oversold po si LTG at 29. Nag-dip siya because fundamentals precedes technicals kasi. And the dip was caused by the low income pa rin pero hindi siya mataas, bumaba siya from last year. Kaya po nag-dip po ng konti. So I expect a few dips pa rin, mag-dip pa rin ng konti ito. But in the long run, being an index stock and being a good company at that, ay babawi po yan. And kung mapapansin nyo po, based on the technicals, 29 po, oversold po yan. Meaning that sometime in the next few days or few weeks, hindi po natin alam kung kailan, ay babawi po si LTG dahil oversold po ang ating stock. Okay po. So, in the meantime po, dito po sa level lang po ito siya gumagalaw. Sa 952 level, ang movement ni LTG or within that range po. Okay, so let's look at MWIDE. Request ni floor. Okay, MWIDE had a red candlestick. So, nag-ano lang po siya, no? Nagko-consolidate lang po siya, piercing through po 956 or 596 po rather ang support level. Now when I talk of support and resistance, these are not exact points but these are areas. RSI is bearish at 45 and yung kanyang near term resistance nandito po sa 630 to 640 ang near term resistance, and the next resistance after that would be here at 660 to 670. Okay po. So, bearish to sideways po ang movement niya. And then DNL. Okay, DNL bumaba. Pero income po ito ha. So, yung meron po siyang magandang income si DNL. And there is a smaller candlestick here from a surge here, no? May breakout siya dito. Tapos dito meron siyang nagko-consolidate and it forms a flag formation. Ang formation niyan is that pababa. Pero eventually ay before it goes up, ano? So, yan po yung formation bago siya tumaas. But the consolidation, hindi po natin alam kung hanggang kailan po. Pero ganyan po, no? Kung ma-observe nyo po dito, may breakout dito si DNL. Tapos nagkaroon siya ng consolidation. A similar flag. So after that ay nagkaroon uli siya ng breakout with above average volume. Ito po. So yan po si DNL. Ang kanyang resistance ay nandito po sa 850 to 860 po, while the nearest support ay nandito po sa 780 to 7 to 8 pesos ang nearest support po niya. And then, MPI. Did I miss that? MPI. Ito, oversold na ito eh. Uy, tumataas siya, 3.77. It went as low as, tingnan natin, 350. Pero ang tunay na presyo niya nasa 6 pesos eh. 660 po ang tunay na presyo nito eh. So, support niya nandito po sa 350, while resistance ay pwede po nating ilagay dito sa area nito. Sa 390 to 4 pesos po ang next resistance level ni Metro Pacific. Pero kung titingnan po natin ay tumataas po siya. Meron po cash dividends of 3.45 centavos per share. It's one of the highest actually ang mga dividendo na binibigay ni MPI. Pero kung titingnan po natin dito ay under the candlestick na po yung short term. So in the short term, it is already having a bullish trend. Okay po? So RSI is also a bit bullish at 54. And then, si JFC. Nagbukas to ng store. Tapos may net income din to. Uy, nagka-consolidate lang siya. Consolidation lang po ang ginagawa nitong si JFC. Ngayon, kung gagawin po natin yan ng Darvas box, dito po yung short-term movement po niya with the higher boundary at 198 to 200, while the lower boundary is at 187 to 188 pesos, which will form our support. So just piercing through the candlestick and it is consolidating. And then pizza income din to. Okay, just consolidating also kasi may earnings siya. Okay, 96.35, which is good. But this is just consolidating dahil piercing through the candlestick yung ating mga indicators with support here at this area na 740 to 750, while resistance is malapit po dito sa area to. 8 pesos to 8.10 po yung resistance area ni pizza. And then sa Cebu Pacific, ako, ito yung lugi kasi mahina ang airlines eh. Yan, bumaba siya oh. So ito tataas sana, but the earnings report pulled down the stock, ano? And kung tutusin po natin ay magandang bumili po dahil napakababa ng Cebu Pacific. So nag-oversold po siya dito, meron siyang oversold dito, nag-overbought siya dito. Now eventually this will recover dahil nandyan na yung bakuna. And unti-unti po mga airlines, tourism, yan yung mahihina po ngayon eh na industries, ano? Airlines, tourism, face-to-face meetings, business, pleasure, pati yung tourism sa iba't ibang bansa, yan po. So, mababa po talaga ngayon. And then, pure gold, kita din itong si pure gold eh. But how was it? Uy, nagkaroon ng green candlestick but it's still very low at 38.40. Actually, maganda pong bumili ng pure gold. Ano po? Yan po ang support niya at yung resistance po niya ay nandito po sa area to. Mga 41 to 42 pesos while support is at 38 to 39 pesos. Yan po si pure gold. And piercing through the candlesticks po siya. RSI is bearish. Sentiment po is talagang bearish today. Okay po. And then SM. Okay, 979. Nag-profit taking. Red candlestick. Just piercing through. It appears to be moving sideways. So 979 with resistance. Nandito po. Nasa area pong ito, no? 10.19 to 10.20 po ang resistance level niya, while support ay pinakamalapit po ay nandito po, nasa 225 to 226 or 925 to 926. Naduduling na ako, pasensya na po. And then finally we have FILRT. Nakabili ba kayo nito? Kumuha po ako ng konti dito. Uy, 702. Okay, tingnan natin yung intraday. Lagay natin sa 30 minutes. Yan, no? Tumaas siya, tapos bumaba. Pero maganda po yung PhilInvest dahil maraming magagandang properties po. And it is 100% occupied, ha? And mga long-term leases ang mga kumukuha dito. Yan po yung 30-minute, pero kung 15-minute po, yun, maganda rin, no? So, it ended 2 centavos higher or 0.29%. Pero hindi ko po mabigyan ng analysis to dahil kulang po yung ating data dahil one day po yung ina-analyze nating data. Anyway, based on this, ay mukhang maganda yung first day ni FILRT with an opening price of 697 and closed 2 or 0.29% higher or 2 centavos. It had a high of 714, a low of 696. Okay po? Yan po ang ating report sa ating stock market ngayong araw, August 12, 2021. Ito po si Benji Chodoro, nagpapaalala, stay safe po sa Delta variant at sa COVID. Mag-ingat sa scam. Magpabakuna ng maaga ng di maabala. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik at hanggang sa muli. Thank you, God bless, and bye for now.